So the first part of the income chain is if you don't flow, nothing happens. And so what I want to say is if you don't flow, then this education I'm about to give you is entertainment instead of education. So let's not work on being entertained. Let's work on making sure that our skills are sharp, so we're ready for business, so that when we flow and after we flow, what's the second part of the income chain? Appointment. We flow to get an appointment. At the appointment, we'll know what we're doing. So that's why we do what we do. We flow to get the appointment. We get the appointment to get the agreement. If you're thinking about these things in the natural order, then you won't skip one on accident. A lot of people skip flow. Well, if you don't flow, nothing happens. A lot of people skip asking for an appointment. Somebody says, you know what? We want to buy a house. And you say, great, send me any homes you're interested in viewing and I'll get them scheduled for you. That's what I call terrible service. You haven't given them anything of value and you're telling them to do the work to get the things to you. It's awful. Even if they say, we have a few we'd like to look at, the very next thing out of your mouth should be, awesome, let's get an appointment. I'd like to go over those with you so I can learn better what you want. Get an appointment. You get the appointment to get the agreement. It would be so silly of you to sit down at a listing and then say, you know what, we do want to use you to sell our home, for you to say, great, have a good night. It's very obvious that you want to sign a listing agreement at that point. Why would you not want to get a buyer agency agreement at that point too, when they say we want to use you? That's your lack of confidence and bad service to them. So we want to get the agreement. After we get the agreement, what do? Get a contract. We show some houses and we get a contract. After we get a contract, we get a closing. After we get a closing, you get paid. That's the income chain. What's the first link in the income chain? If you don't flow, you'll never get started. Nothing will happen. So this class is not on flow, but it is going to be a lot about the appointment. So we are going to go over MLS training and things that I really think that most of you probably have never seen or not thought of in the capacity that I'm going to put it in to help you and your clients. So I'm excited to share it with you. The first thing we're going to do, most of you probably have seen, and we are going to do a saved search again, just like we did last week, just to help you. So I'm going to need a volunteer from the audience because I think you can speak loud enough. All right. So something I want you to remember is that when we're first talking to a potential buyer and we're in our appointment with them, what are we going to tell them we're going to do for them as far as searching for a property? Any Abby Driver, you're impressive. We're going to put everything in a funnel. And what are those things we're going to put in a funnel? Well, we need to guide them because we know what's out there, what the options are for putting in the funnel, but they don't. So we're going to start with homes they're already considering, right? Let me know what you're already thinking about. We're going to put that in the funnel. For sale by owner, we're going to look at bank-owned properties. We're going to look at new construction, Zillow, Trulia, the MLS. And the cool thing about it is bank-owned properties list with realtors. So we know that'll be in the MLS. Zillow and Trulia draw from the MLS. So since they're information companies and not real estate companies, we're going to go through the MLS because we know that it'll be more accurate. And then for sale by owners, I'll be looking on FSBO sites and you do the same. Anything you see, let me know, and I'll do the same. And we're going to put those in a funnel, and then we're going to narrow that down to your top choices. It used to be top 10. Unfortunately, nowadays, sometimes it's your top 1. And it'd be great if we could get a top 5. If we present it that way, if we draw the funnel, draw them back into what's going on here with us instead of on the screen behind us when we're presenting, they're going to feel confident. They're going to know that they're not going to miss anything. What's the biggest fear of a buyer?
Missing out, overpaying.
Fear of missing out and fear of overpaying. So we want to handle all of that at that meeting, how we're going to take care of them. We don't want them to miss out. We don't want them to overpay. The more we reiterate that, the more confidence they'll have in your ability. Any questions so far?
No.
What's the first link in the income chain?
Well,
What's the second link? Third? Once you get those down, the rest is a very natural progression. Those 3 are the ones that depend on you the most, and they're the one that agents tend to do the least, those 3. So let's get refocused on the MLS now. Joni, what kind of house are you looking for? How many bedrooms?
3 bed, 2 bath.
Would 4 bed be okay?
Yes.
Okay, so 3 or more, 2 bath or more. What price range are you looking in?
250 to 380.
And would you be willing to go up to 300 to see what the options are?
Yes.
Would purchasing at 300 be a possibility?
No.
Okay, then let's leave it at 280. I'm fine with saying those things. You should be too. Is 250 the bottom because you think that that's the lowest of what the market has to provide you, or is that just an arbitrary number?
It's just an arbitrary number.
Let's do 200 and see what we can do with that. Do you have an average square feet that you really want to stick around?
About 1,500.
Tell me about that. Why?
My kids are gonna be moving out soon. I don't need a big space.
Okay, so about 1,500. What's the absolute largest you'd want to go?
Probably 1,800.
18. Okay, I'm going to do 1,300 to 1,800. Does that sound all right with you? Do you want a newer home? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. I don't want to fix her upper, but it doesn't have to be all updated.
Okay, what area?
Springdale.
Springdale? Is there a part of Springdale you'd prefer, or any of Springdale?
Maybe more towards the west side.
Okay. So if we take a look at the map together, would north be okay, or do you want to strictly stay west?
No, northwest is okay.
Okay, Bethel Heights, okay? All right, I'm just going to circle that area. Tawny Town, okay?
Yeah.
Elm Springs?
That's a little too far out. Hey Google. Hey Google. Stop. That's a good morning playlist, by the way.
No, it isn't.
According to stuff. Okay.
All right, so these are our current options. I'm going to go to results. And you can tell me yay or nay on any interest on that.
Not my favorite.
Has potential. Would you like to leave it on the list for now?
For now.
Okay. On the outside, do you prefer this one or the first one?
I prefer the looks of that one.
If we were to compare the two right now, would you still be interested in the first one?
Probably not unless the location is just absolutely right.
Okay, so I'll leave it on for now.
Don't like that.
That's when I was born. What a perfect number to pick out of the air. Don't knock. Don't knock 1974. Still don't like it?
Looks choppy on the inside.
We're done with it.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to point out that that's wood paneling. No? Take it off? All right. And the last one. No garage. And one photo. Do you need a garage? All right, so we have two that we can go see, and we'll narrow those down, and I'll get those sent off to you. Now, what I would like to do is I'd like to go ahead and save this search right here. I click save and new auto email. Then I just set it up, and it's going to send notices, and I can say send them as soon as possible. So as soon as something's listed, you'll get notice, and I'm actually going to go ahead and make it so you get a text message notifying you that there's a new property listed that fits your criteria. So we won't miss out on anything. How does that sound?
Sounds good. I do have a question about that. So when you click on the text thing and the concierge mode, does it still send them a text? And you do both of those at the same time? Okay.
Yep. So that's how you set up an auto email. Now, once that's set up, they're going to get notifications. Here's the thing that I would really make sure that you do is that you get a blind carbon copy of everything, so you know what they're getting, so that when they get something and they call you and they're like, hey, we got to go see this, you can pull it up immediately on your phone and know what the heck they're talking about. Without that, you're going to be in the dark. So make sure that you're getting what they get, and that helps everyone a lot. Now, the new thing that I want to show you here that I want to talk to you about how I am going to be working with this. Hot sheets. Anybody here use hot sheets? Raise your hand. A little bit. What do you use them for, Evan?
I mean, new listings by location, mostly residential. I'd be lying if I said I did it every day.
Yeah.
I've got them set up.
Okay. Abby, how do you use them?
Yeah, I just see what's the freshest.
Freshest stuff.
Yeah.
So for forever, I used Market Watch, and I'd just come here and I'd say, okay, right now for the day, we have 2 new listings, one in Bentonville that I don't have a buyer for, and a lot listing in Bella Vista I don't have a buyer for. Okay, cool. I'm done. I've reviewed the new listings as of 9:30 a.m. Code enforcement is here. Oh, good. Yeah, where they picked a great place to turn around. So would you go outside and greet them? So something you can do with hot sheets is you can come down here to customize. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want to do a residential hot sheet, and I want to add someone to that. So I'm going to actually rename this hot sheet to Joni. Okay. And I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to click edit criteria. And Joni wants to be in Springdale. She wants to have a 3 or more bedroom, a 2 or more bath, 1,300 to 1,800 square feet. She doesn't care about the age. She did let me know that she wants a garage. So I'm going to go down here to additional fields, click add, and I'm going to get that search bar going. Garage right there, add. And does it need to be a 2-car? Does it need to be a 2-car garage? Okay. So any additional information that you want, you can add into that. And she wants a garage, and it needs to be a 2-car or more. She wants it to be in West Springdale. She was okay with Elm Springs. But Cave Springs was not okay. I'm going to draw a polygon and go around here. She said Bethel Heights was okay. And we're just going to say that that's the area that she was cool with. And I'm going to say, okay. And then I'm going to click save. So now on my home screen, you'll see I've got Kim here as well. I've got a buyer named Mrs. Kim, and I've got her set up on a hot sheet. I can pull up that hot sheet anytime I want. No listings were found using your search criteria. Now, I've got it set right now on new only. I can do this as far back as I want. I can customize it, anything. So if I say in the last 7 days, has there been anything for Kim? There still hasn't. Let's see about Joni. So we've seen a lot of changes in the last 7 days. Most of them have gone from pending to sold, but we have 3 new listings here. Now, one of the best things that that's come to me about this is when we sit down and we're talking to a new buyer about their location, about what they're searching for. This is a great way to get all the data. Not only that, we've got a coming soon here, so that's interesting to know. But we can compile all the data so quickly now into a market analysis. So when we're sitting down with them and they're talking about where they want to be, well, on average, what people are buying right now in that area for that price range, on average, they're paying 2% more than the list price, and even up to 9% more than the list price. So we're probably going to be looking at multiple offer situation. We're probably going to need to bring extra cash, and we need to talk about your ability to do that so that we can have a successful transaction. So we've got a great quick screenshot during that meeting of what they're looking at as far as being able to negotiate. And furthermore, I've got now a hot sheet that I can click on anytime. If you'd click this session, and I saw one and I called Joni about it, and I said, Joni, I think the perfect house at the market, it's 123 B State Street. And you say, yeah, I drove by it. The neighbors are terrible. There's power lines all over the place and cars all over the neighborhood. I'm not interested. They really did a good job on those pictures. Well, guess what? The next time I click on Joni, so I've got these from this session. Now watch this. I'm going to go back, and because I have it currently on this session as my drop-down options, she said no to all of those. I click on it again. They're gone. They're supposed to be gone. No, they're not. No, they're not. This session, they stay. It is new only. So I've seen those. I'm not going to see them again. She ixnayed them, and they're gone forever now. They're out of the hot sheet. I can change that, of course, to a 7-day. And now those options are back. But to have this as a snapshot of what has happened this week, this much activity this week in that price range for that area, for that type of home, it's a very important thing to know. Matter of fact, we can go through the solds now with them and tell them this is the type of house you can expect to have in that price range, because These are the ones that have sold in the last 7 days. So we can be a little bit patient because they're going to pop on the market with that many coming and going. Sound good? No, it's terrible. We can't wait. We have to go. Okay, well, we'll have to jump as soon as one comes. So depends on their time frame, but that hot sheet thing, I think, is a brilliant new way for you to keep up with what people need that are in your hot list. If you have, say, 20 people on your hot list and you're just looking at new listings, clicking on that, how easy is it going to be to forget one of those buyers? The more buyers you get, the easier it is to forget. So we want to make sure we grab that and have those set up so that we're looking out for them daily, Kim and Joni. So I'm actually going to go back into these. I will get right with you. Let me finish my thought. And I am going to delete
Well, it has to do with that. I need to
Joni.
get that.
Okay, go ahead.
When you set up the hot sheet for Joni, can you just set up the hot sheet and then go to the listings and click save, like set up the save search from the hot sheet so you don't have to set it up twice? That's my question.
So we've set up the hot sheet for Joni. We're going to go on to Joni here. And yes, you can.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Sweet, thank you.
Uh-huh. So having these things set up, does that help you be a resource for them that provides value?
Yes, that's awesome.
What is our goal in working with people?
Providing that.
Provide value. I would recommend leaving all of your options up here alone, because these are the options that will make it quick to create a hot sheet for an individual, especially that residential. Just if you don't want to deal in anything else, that's fine, but click residential, click add, and name it. We're going to do a residential search for whatever family. Make sense? Cool. Something else I want to talk to you about is welcome to Matrix X and One Home. Get started at the Matrix Learning Lab. We tend to get plenty of calls that say, how do you? And that's fine. We're here to help. However, it seems like we get calls before people run a search on the drive or click on any kind of educational access on the MLS or on Form Simplicity. On the MLS, you can do this drop down where your name is and click on help. Matrix video tutorials exist right there and will help you a ton. Also, if you just click here, this is a great resource for you to learn how to do this stuff. You can earn badges. Yeah. So they've got a quick start guide for Matrix. One home, 30-second spot. One home, welcome your clients. Did you know that using One Home, which honestly, I'm really unhappy with one thing about them, so I don't like it. In using One Home, if your clients use it, they will favorite listings that they really like. That could be very, very helpful. They have a portal, they go in, they do their thing, and you get notification that they favorited a property. That's great. That's great. So all of that can be learned here and taken care of. Sending SMS text notifications to clients in Matrix. Let's take a look at this.
And today we're going to take a look at how to send text notifications to your customers. Now, before I begin, I'd first like to mention that because each MLS has slightly different requirements, the system that we'll be using during this tutorial may differ slightly from the one that you're currently working with. Nevertheless, the functionality is the same, and for the most part, whatever you see during this tutorial, you'll easily recognize in your own system. All right, so before your customer is able to receive text notifications from Matrix, you'll first need to invite them to opt in to the service. And to be proactive, you should probably take this opportunity to invite all of your contacts so that they each had a chance to opt in before you actually send them some listings. To do this, simply navigate to their contact page, then click the Send Opt-in Request button. And from here, you'll just need to ensure that your contact plus any members of their group are each selected to receive an email invite. Then click Send. All right, so now that the invitation has been sent, let's take a quick look at how the client goes about opting into receiving text notifications. And they'll do this by first accessing their email account. Then click on the invite sent to them by their agent. And from here, they'll simply need to click the Sign Up button. Then add their phone number to become active. All right, so once your customer's activated their account, they'll immediately receive a welcome message, followed by any future property notifications. Now, as agents, we can see that our primary contact is opted in by simply refreshing their contact page in Matrix, and then confirming with the SMS icon displayed beside their phone number. All right, so now,
Much better method for us to put that in for them on an auto search. Much better method for us to get that done for them than to rely on them to do it, right? Yeah. So anyhow, this learning lab has so many resources in it and so much knowledge there for you to get. So this is a great one. This actually is. Save custom searches to view at another time. Apply for mortgage rates. Gather insurance quotes. Share specific notes about a property listing with your agent. Schedule an open house tour. Mark a property as favorite. Create a buy-in or selling plan with your agent to stay informed for every part of your journey. That's for sellers. Use the property fit score to find the perfect home. Click the activate button. I mean, this has so much for them. We need to get more proficient at One Home because it's a tool that does create value. When you look at I'm guilty of this. When you look at changes happening in our MLS and things are going okay for you, you get frustrated with those changes. I do. I'm like, dadgum, I'm doing fine. Leave me alone. The issue with that is the market isn't always going to be like this. And as it slows or changes, this will help you not get bumped in the market. This will help you maintain your professional ability. We've got to keep up with it. Let's look.
hi everybody, my name is Dave Marsh. I'd like to welcome you to this Matrix settings tutorial. And today we're going to take a look at how to configure your portal notification settings in Matrix. Now, before we begin, I'd first like to mention that because each MLS has slightly different requirements, the system that we'll be using during this tutorial may differ slightly from the one that you're currently working with. Nevertheless, the functionality is the same, and for the most part, whatever you see during this tutorial, you'll easily recognize in your own system. All right, so today we're going to take a look at how to configure your portal notification settings So you can be notified each time any of your contacts performs a specific activity in their One Home portal. To do this, simply navigate to the settings section, then click notifications. And from here, one of the first things you'll notice is the option of being notified either by email or by text whenever any of your clients perform any of the following activities in their portal. For this example, we're going to assume that I'd like to be notified as soon as possible by email whenever any of my new clients visit their portal for the very first time. In addition to this, I'd also like to be notified whenever any of my clients adds a listing to their favorites. And again, I'm also going to choose to be notified as soon as possible by email. Now, for activities that might initiate too many emails throughout the day, users also have the option of receiving just a single daily summary. So while I'm at it, I'm going to select to be notified whenever a contact visits their portal, but this time just once with a daily summary email. All right, and finally, I'd also like to be notified whenever a customer sends me a note. Just in case it's important and I'm not checking my email, I'd actually prefer to be notified right away by text message. To do this, I'll first need to add my mobile phone number to Matrix and then choose my cellular provider. All right, so at this point, you'll just need to confirm that your phone details are correct. And we'll do this by first requesting a verification text, and then back in Matrix, enter the verification code sent to your phone. All right, well, this concludes this Matrix settings tutorial. I'd like to thank you for watching and hope that you can join me for another session.
Why wouldn't we want to know every time somebody does something related to our business with them? What a great opportunity. What a great opportunity. So I want to encourage you to get familiar with One Home. There's plenty in here for you to learn how to do that. Jump in it, get to know it, because it's an interactive system with your clients. And if they know, as we said, that Trulia and Zillow, Realtor.com all pull from the MLS, the only thing we have to look for after that are going to be for sale by owners, because banks list properties with agents. We're not going to miss that either. If they know that, and here's the tool that you can use to do that with, plus I'll set up notifications, then we're going to be in great shape and we're not going to miss a thing. Sound good? What's buyers' two biggest fears? Missing out and overpaying. What are we going to help them not do? Yeah, you're not going to miss out and you're not going to overpay. We're going to use this tool to help us. Look good? Questions?
You say there's a way to set up text without going through the approval process?
There is not. The only way that you can set that up is in auto notifications that they got that listing. Yeah. Anybody else? Questions? Helpful?
Yes.
Good stuff? Bill, favorite part of the meeting?
The One Home,
The portal?
the portal, and I used to use the previous one, and just sort of got away from it, so I'll have to revisit that.
As buyers stack up because we can't find what they're after, we don't want them to be forgotten. And that's a great way for us to remember them. Yeah. Malia, favorite part?
Doesn't apply to me, but I think the whole thing is just interesting, just the hot sheet is really cool. I find it to be of value for people, for sure.
Felicia?
All of the learning.
All of the learning tools that are in there. It's in there.
Stop calling her.
No, you can
No,
call
I
her.
never know, but the more I know, the more
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
show, because I
Yeah.
don't utilize Matrix the way everyone else does.
Yeah.
So when people ask me questions, sometimes
You may
I'm
not
like,
know. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I've never done that. I'll try
Yeah.
to figure it out. And then I'm kind of just winging it, going in
Yeah.
MLS and just guessing at things until I figure it out. So
Yeah.
being able to learn how to do those things and show some Matrix.
Awesome.
I feel like that's good.
Joni?
I like the hot sheet, and I like Abby's question that she had for you about
Mhm.
doing all of that at once. I mean, that makes
Yep.
sense. Like,
Create the hot sheet first and then
first,
save
and
it.
saving your
Yep.
search and setting all that up. That's killing two birds with one stone. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Evan.
It's all pretty tied together, so I like the hot sheet, just having on your home page, you can have all those names and all their searches. I'd like to get more efficient at setting it up that way. And also, all of this somehow ties into an app that the customers can download. And I'm not sure how that really works, but we'll try to figure that out too.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Abby,
Hot sheet.
hot sheet, hot sheet. Good.
I can check the auto emails, but it would just be easier from that front page.
Mhm. Stephanie.
I like the hot sheet. I like anything that can be comprehended clients. I
Yeah.
think that's helpful.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Carolyn, if you press your space bar, it'll unmute you.
Well, I thought it was cool that you could draw on the map and figure out your sections, because I didn't realize it would do that. And that is very helpful in certain areas.
Awesome. Awesome. Charity.
I liked the hot sheets. I've used those a little bit, but I like the information that you added on how to use them a little more efficiently. And then also the videos, because my clients, they get the things and they like it, and then I can't figure out how to get notified. So that's huge for me.
Good. Good. Sue.
I'm the same as everybody else, the hot sheets and all the information was good. Yeah.
Good. Good. Jeff.
Hot sheets.
All right, Thomas.
I mean, it's all these are just good reminders on how to stay in flow. Because I have a whole bunch of people set up on the search with one home, but sometimes I forget to go back and look at the ones that they favorited and things like that. And sometimes I miss where they've left a comment, and just reminding myself to get back in flow to communicate with them.
Nice. Nice. Tana.
I really like how you can see you can get the notifications for the actions that your clients are doing when they favor something, when they log on to the portal. I thought that was really cool and a really good tool.
Cool. Cool. Something you may not have thought of, something you may have. Why not set up a buyer who is closed on their home with auto notifications for sales in their neighborhood? Just listed for this much, just went under contract, just sold. Those three things could be very important to them.
Things are appreciating right now, sorry to cut you off, but that's for knocking off PMI.
Yeah.
In a few cases of houses that I've sold this year, that's been a big deal. So,
Evan's point is that as those prices begin to prove that the inflation has increased on the value of their home, they may be able to get rid of PMI and move forward without that. So that's a good service to provide them, and something that easily keeps you in flow with them, providing something of value instantly. Yeah. So good point, Evan, on PMI. All right. Anybody got anything else? We have a Thanksgiving extravaganza. What are we calling this?
Day potluck.
Gobble, gobble, y'all. When is it?
It is next Tuesday.
And it's next Tuesday at noon here at the Fayetteville office, and we are not having a meeting because we're doing that, right?
Yes, I sent out sign out links last Friday, but I'm gonna send it out again today because no one has signed up.
Nobody signed up to bring anything.
Yeah, I remember getting the link.
Yeah.
I posted on the announcement.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So be watching the announcement thread, please. It's there for a reason. And we try to keep in touch with you guys, but your participation in that is required. So that'll get sent out. Anything else? Tana, you have anything to add?
Nope.
No? Malia,
Good.
Felicia? Nope. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.